What's up, guys? Welcome to Gwhisky. My name is Jeff. This is a channel where I offer my thoughts and opinions on a specific whiskey, and if you stick around to the end, I'll be giving it a score as well. If that sounds interesting, hit subscribe down below, and with that out of the way, let's jump into our review. Today we're looking at the Highland Park 18-year-old Travel Retail. Stick around. Alright, so we're doing a Highland Park today. I've got the 18 here with me. This is one that I'm very excited to talk about. It's no secret that I'm a big Highland Park fan. I love the house style. We got sherry, we got heathery peat, beautiful barley notes. Now, I admit, the core range is kind of a mixed bag, but it's a genuinely great whiskey when they get it right. Now, this one is kind of a weird release. It's a travel retail, and I wish it wasn't. We do have another Highland Park out there. That's the standard release. That one comes in at 43%. So this one gets the higher ABV, so they can, and obviously they do make a Highland Park 18 at 46%, and I just wish they'd gone ahead and made this the standard 18. So yeah, that's kind of frustrating. 18-year-olds, you know, we're in premium territory. We're paying good money for 18-year-olds, so it would be nice to have the specs that we want. And you know, it's funny, their brand rep came to Taiwan not too long ago, and I was considering going to one of his events and kind of picking a fight with him about it. But then I thought, maybe just a strongly worded letter. For production, they don't tell us too much, at least not on the bottle. I don't have the box, maybe they mention more there, but the bottle, not too much. If you check the website, it says they use a higher proportion of first fill American and European seasoned sherry casks, which is a good thing. I do love a good bourbon matured Highland Park, but in my opinion, they are at their best when they're working with sherry. I recently looked at the 21-year-old and the cask strength release on the channel, so I guess I'm on kind of a Highland Park kick these days. The cask strength is a relatively affordable whiskey. The 21 is not that. And this one is still very much in premium territory, although of course it's going to be cheaper than the 21-year-old, but still expensive, which I'm cool with. I'm not rich, but I do identify as rich. I've always felt like a rich person on the inside. And you know, it's just nice to drink fancy whiskeys that I think are befitting of the status I feel like I deserve. Yeah. Anyway, this bottle was traded to me by my buddy Alan, and the trade, as usual, was not fair. So Alan, you're a legend. Thank you very much. Anyway, we've got a Highland Park with a very good age statement. It's got a good ABV. We got first fill sherry. I'll be honest, there is very little chance that this is going to go wrong. I am excited to dig into this one, so let's jump into the review. In the meantime, if you'll kindly leave a like down below, that'd be greatly appreciated. For our specs, this one comes in at 46%. As I said, it's non-chill filtered and our color is natural. I wish they could all be like this. For the bottle, I think it's all right. I'm always a bit torn with these black bottles. The Dark Origins had it. What else? The Full Volume had it. There's a few other brands that have like these completely black bottles. And I do think it looks cool from an aesthetic perspective. Unfortunately, with these kinds of bottles, you can't make out the fill level inside, so you never really know how much whiskey you have left, especially when you're getting towards the bottom of the bottle, and you don't know if you have like 1 dram or 5 drams left. It's kind of confusing. It's not practical, but then again, I do like the look more than your Highland Park, the standard Highland Park bottles, so I don't know. Presentation, 3 out of 5. We don't get non-chill filtered or natural color on the bottle. It might say that on the box. Again, I don't have the box. Usually we get more information on Highland Park boxes than we do on the bottles themselves. For the bottle, our info is very basic. The look is kind of cool, but also not practical. It's a thing. So I did add a tiny splash of water to this. On the nose, this gives us honey. We get a beautiful barley note in here. We do get Highland Park's famous heather. There is peat in this, but it's an older whiskey, so it is slightly more subdued. I get citrus, I get berry jam, I get blackberry jam, I get plums, sultanas, caramel, spices, and a gentle nuttiness. This is a really nice nose. The palate and the finish give us a very nice intensity. I get lots of sultanas in here. There's some nice spices, there's nutmeg, there's cinnamon, there's black pepper, there's honey, there's roasted almonds, there's cherries in here, there's sherry, there's sea salt, or like caramel sea salt. You know those caramel sea salt nut bars? Those. There's also some gingerbread. There's some semi-bitter herbal notes in here, kind of like ginseng maybe. Again, we've got that fantastic maltiness, medium finish. All right, so this stuff is fantastic. I think this is exactly what Highland Park 18 should be. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the regular 18-year-olds on hand to do like a side-by-side comparison. So I don't know how they compare. I'm not sure if this is a different formula or if it's just an amped up version of the regular 18. I'm guessing it's the former. Either way, this is really good stuff. We get the flavors, we get the balance. I love the maltiness in here. We get some herbal notes, we get the gentle peat, we get the florals. It's just a killer profile. I might even go so far as to say this is my favorite Highland Park. Now, granted, the 21 is more sophisticated and maybe technically better. But when you get into these higher age statements, sometimes there can be a trade-off. Oftentimes with the older whiskeys, they might be a little bit more settled in, possibly more harmonious, possibly more complex. But the thing is, the older you get, you can sometimes lose a little bit of your feistiness. Now, that can be true of whiskey, that can be true of girlfriends. I'm sorry. I've been informed that in the pursuit of adding a bit of humor to my channel, I can sometimes use offensive language or jokes, and it's inappropriate. I realize this is unacceptable behavior, but I am a work in progress, and moving forward, I will do everything I can to avoid making any more of these sexist comments. I deeply apologize, and in the future, I will do better. Anyway, I'm sorry, where were we? The 21. Yeah, the 21 is older, it's more sophisticated, it's less peat, it's more harmonious. Now the 18 is still 18 years old. It is still a very sophisticated whiskey, just not quite on the same level as the 21. But again, you have that trade-off. So the 18 is feistier. So you have more peat in there, a little bit more sherry. It's just more full on. Now, I wouldn't go so far as to say the 18 is better than the 21. In fact, like I said, technically you could make an argument that the 21 is better. I like the feistiness in the 18, and really I like them both about the same. It would be a mood thing, but then, you know, value is a thing, and I'm often in the mood to not be broke. So the 18 is a better choice. It's still not a very good choice from a budget perspective, but it's, of course, a better choice than the 21. So yeah, flavors, value, intensity, this gets everything right. This is an exceptional whiskey. In fact, it's one of my favorite whiskeys on my shelf right now at the moment. I'm gonna score this high, man. I'm going for 92 here. Incredible stuff. Now, keep in mind, I am a Highland Park fanboy. I realize not everyone is, and it's asking a lot to disregard the over-the-top pricing. Oftentimes, their ABVs are too low. They've had some silly marketing campaigns. Even their bottles, I find their bottles a little bit tacky. Like, there's a lot to look past. And I understand a lot of you don't want to do that, and I get it. But personally speaking, I think the distillate and the house style is among Scotland's finest. So if you are into Highland Park and you like their house style, and maybe you're not on the tightest of budgets, I do think this is a great option. The whiskey itself is truly exceptional. Like I said, it's among my favorite Highland Parks, at least in the OB world. IBs are another story. Really, really good stuff. Highly recommended. But of course, we've got to talk about value. So value is a tough one. We're in premium territory, so this isn't even trying to be like affordable. It's an expensive whiskey. I think it's too expensive. The regular 18 is cheaper than this one, and it's 43%, and I already think that one is too expensive. If I had my way, this one would replace the regular 18. If I had my way, this would be much lower in price. Why can't I have my way? Still, I absolutely love this stuff, and if money wasn't tight, this would be one of the premium bottles that I treat myself to. I do think it's that good. But the thing is, there are a lot of exceptional 18-year-olds that are so much cheaper than this. If you look at things like Ledyig, if you look at Deanston, if you look at Enoch, fantastic whiskeys. Deanston, for example, is less than half the price that this one costs, at least in my market. Something like Ledyig, substantially cheaper, and in my mind, just as good. So there are other options out there that are better bang for buck. Still, if you're a diehard HP fan, this one, it's kind of a must. But if you're not a diehard HP fan, I wouldn't recommend it. And even then, if you are a fan, maybe you can get a sample, maybe you can split a bottle. If you're a lot richer than me, sure, go for the full thing. But I'm not recommending it based on value. All right, that's it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to help support the channel, I do have the Patreon. Otherwise, you can like, comment, and subscribe. That's always appreciated. I want to hear your thoughts on this one. Have you tried it? Have you done a side-by-side with a regular 18? What are your thoughts on that one? Let me know all that down below. Also, down below in the comments, you can tell me what whiskeys you want to see me review next, and I'll keep it in mind for my upcoming videos. Bye, guys.